Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Safira Amiatuliza binti Basri. I would like to present about human impact on genetic diversity in forest management. So, the content of my presentation is: first, I would like to present about genetic diversity, and second, human activities that affect the forest, and lastly, about strategy for conserving forests. Humans have converted forests to agriculture and urban use, exploited species, fragmented wetlands, changing the demographic structure of forests, altered habitat, degrade the environment with atmospheric and soil pollutant, introduced exotic pets and competitors, and domesticated favor species. Genetic diversity is the sum of various alleles within a species or a population. Genetic diversity refers to both the vast numbers of different species as well as the diversity within a species. To further understand genetic diversity, let us define related terms. Genetic variability is defined as the ability of a population to produce organisms with a different genotype. How about genetic variation? What is it? Genetic variation is defined as the presence of a various number of alleles with a different distribution frequency in a certain population. Genetic variation simply refers to the variation of genome at the individual level, like between individuals, or at the species level, like between species population. The variation may result from a mutation. Mutation may causes the emergence of mutants of variants. Apart from mutation, other mechanisms leading to genetic variation are sexual reproduction and genetic drift. The importance of genetic diversity. Why is genetic diversity important? Genetic diversity is important because it could ensure that certain groups of individual, species, or population will be able to adapt to certain environmental factors. Besides having to deal with environmental conditions, genetic diversity reduces them the ability to resist emerging disease and epidemics. On the contrary, low genetic diversity may increase the susceptibility of a species to biotic and abiotic stresses such as disease and drought, and therefore facing a higher risk of extinction in the long run. Humans' activity that affect the forest. First, deforestation. This is the process of indiscriminating the felling of trees in the forest. This occurs when trees are felled without any replacement. Tree felling is an important factor in the global loss of forest cover, which often causes degradation. Number 2, bush burning. This is the act of setting the forest on fire during the dry season. Bush burning leads to the exposure on land to direct sunlight, rain, and windstorm, which causes both erosion and degradation of soil structures. And lastly, humanization and industrialization. The activities of humans in building urban houses and various locations of industries affect most of the forest and forest resources. the exploitation of wildlife in most areas, and an increase in wildlife population sizes also reduce the forest resources. So, this is the last part for my present. About strategy for conserving the forest. Many factors contribute to biodiversity decline or loss. Often these factors are indirect and involve complex ecological interactions. A few indirect causes include habitat loss and fragmentation, introduced species, population, and poor management practices. The following strategies to help conserve forest biodiversity are important. Number 1 is about protect habitat. One strategy for conserving forest biodiversity is to provide and protect a variety of habitats for plants and animals. Diverse habitat types ensure the potential for a wide range of plants and animals. Number 2, reduce fragmentation. When a large habitat is broken into smaller fragments, certain plant and animal species cannot spread easily. Three species groups affected by habitat fragmentation are: number 1 is species with larger home range, like birds and large carnivores. And number 2, species unable to deposit easily, like many amphibia and reptile species. Lastly, habitat interior species, which is forest songbirds. Some species easily survive habitat fragmentation, like deer and raccoon are generalists and often benefit from fragmentation. Number 3, reduce population. Population has negative effects on forest ecosystem productivity and make certain species more prone to damage from insects and disease. And lastly, using sustainable harvesting practices. Sustainable harvesting practices protect the environment by conserving soil, controlling stream sedimentation, protecting residual tree from damage, and promoting desired regeneration. Practicing these strategies can maintain or perhaps increase biodiversity in forest ecosystem.